Right, g'day. In this video I'm just going to be going through RSS feeds. These have kind of been around forever, and it just seems like it's still just geeky people that use them, but I just think they're cool because rather than just sort of trying to remember which websites I want to go to catch up on different blogs that I like reading, you can just have them all in the one place, and you can either do that by using a reader like Google Reader, or you can use your browser, or if you've got an iPad or a tablet, there's apps on those devices that you can use for subscribing to RSS feeds. So the basic concept is you find a blog that you like. So this is my blog. Often on blogs you'll find they actually have a little icon, which is the RSS icon, and that's that little orange one there, or a variation of that. So if you go to your favourite blog and you see that, generally all you have to do is click on that, and if your reader is set up properly, you'll be able to, well, in my case, I just use Google, so I will just click on that little button there. That would automatically add it to Google Reader. Assuming you are going to use Google Reader, you can just Google it. You probably, I imagine, have to sign in first, but there's some cool features with Google Reader. Like what I do is I've got a bunch of folders, and you can go, let me just go down here. So if I click on Manage Subscriptions, what I've got with mine is, because I've got a lot of blogs I like, I've got a whole bunch of different folders that I've got them categorized into, and this becomes a lot more useful once you start using apps to read your blogs. So I've got different folders in here, and depending on the blog I want to subscribe to, it will fit into one of these different categories. So what I'll do is, so in the subscription, this is every single blog I subscribe to, and then you've got the little categories here. So I can see this one here, that's my own blog. Actually, that's another one of my blogs, and you can click that and add it to a category in there. I'll just actually delete that one because I don't really want to subscribe to that one. I've also got all my Google Alerts in here, so I've got one folder called Google Alerts, and if you're familiar with Google Alerts, you basically, normally you set it up so you get an email from Google every time someone mentions your name or your brand or whatever, but I find it's better to do it in RSS feeds, because it means you're not getting emailed all day every day. I just log in the morning and have a look, see if there's anything I need to worry about. So back to Google Reader. Basically, the easiest way to do it is, once you sign up for Google Reader, create a few folders if you want to, but if you don't want to, you can just totally skip out of that process. And then the easiest way to subscribe to a blog is either to go to the blog and look to see if they've got one of those little icons, or just put it in here. So I'll look up smartpassiveincome.com, which is Pat Flynn's blog. If I click on add, a bit of luck that will work, and Google just goes off to that website, and if it can find a feed, an RSS feed for it, it just knows about it, and it will just chuck it in here automatically. And you can see it's been added to the list down there. If I click that little drop down, I can add that to, say, he's sort of about internet marketing, Pat Flynn is, so that just puts it in my little internet marketing folder. So that's quite cool in its own right. Anytime you want to subscribe to a blog, you can do it that way. Some other websites, you can get RSS feeds for a whole bunch of stuff. News sites are often good for RSS feeds. There's, as I say, Google Alerts. But generally it's blogs and articles and sites that put out content. Sometimes forums and things you can get RSS feeds for as well. And you can also search in Google, or sometimes Google will recommend different feeds for you. When you add one in, it'll say, oh, you like that one, therefore maybe you'll like this one. You've got a recommend items link there, so it'll find ones that you might like. Actually, Lifehacker, I do like that, so I can just add that in. I'll come back to that. So the other thing I wanted to show you really quickly was, so this is just looking at it on the computer. I don't actually do a lot of reading at the computer. What I normally do is do it on my iPad. So I might just switch over to that so I can show you what the Reader app looks like. So we're on the iPad now. And this is just an example of why I like RSS feeds. You don't really need an iPad to appreciate them, but if you do your reading on your phone or on a tablet or somewhere other than your main computer, or even on a different computer, then it just really helps to have all of these feeds come into the one Google account, and then no matter what device you're on, then you can look at those feeds on that device. So I use this Reader app, and all this does is connects with Google Reader and brings in all of the articles from the blogs that I subscribe to. So if you look at those words there, they're the categories that I set up in Google Reader. And so of a morning I'll sit here in a cafe and look at whatever I feel like reading about. If I click on, say, startups, this will give me all the articles that have come from the blogs that I've subscribed to around startups. So you just click on the article to read it, and then I will just go through and read that. I usually generally skip over the ones I don't want to read, and then I'd hit that little tick down there, go mark all as read, and then when you get back on this page, you can see that startups folder. There's no numbers in there, which means everything in there has been read. So it just gives you like a reading list every day of blogs that you've subscribed to, which is really cool. And my Google alerts are in there as well, so if I've got any alerts from different websites, they'll be in there and I can look at those or mark them as read. The other app that I use on here is called Flipboard, which is probably getting a little bit too geeky for the average person, but what Flipboard does is gives you a bunch of different categories from their own sources from around the web. So if you just say, okay, I'm interested in design, it will just give you articles from different design blogs in this sort of newspaper format. But the cool thing is it also syncs in with Google Reader, so it will go off and get any of the blogs from your Google Reader account, and it will present them like this as well. And I sort of get a bit freaked out with all of the text in Google Reader, and I like things to be presented with these images, so I kind of like reading it like this. If there's an image that I like, you can kind of expand that and read that, and then close it and go on to the next one. So that's why I like having all the feeds coming into the one spot. So I guess the tip out of all of this would be get a list of the blogs that you like, create a Google Reader account, and then have those, set up the folders and have those feeds coming in and then access them from wherever you want to access them. All right, that's it.